coming up.
Producers are understanding that the value of vaccination is given to their calves, and they understand what they're getting.
I will pay more for a Select calf because I know what I'm getting.
A sick animal doesn't gain. If you don't have gains, you don't have weight. If you don't have weight, you don't have payday.
In an industry where uncertainty is certain, one company is giving producers better control of their bottom line. Next on The American Rancher. Hello and welcome to The American Rancher. I'm Pam Minnick. Today, we're in North Dakota to meet a producer, a veterinarian, a feedlot owner and auctioneer, and a cattle buyer who each have 3 decades of experience working with the Select Vac calf preconditioning program from Zoetis. Our producer is Doug Hilly, owner of Chimney Butte Ranch.
We're located southwest of Mandan, about 25 miles. Not a lot of cropland in this area, so everything is livestock focused. The beef industry for the community out here is very important because it is the energy that keeps the community running in this particular area. For us, it means we have the ability to produce one of the most wholesome foods known to man.
Our veterinarian is Dr. Troy Dutton with Steele Veterinary Clinic in Steele, North Dakota.
The clinic is really unique. 1960s, late 60s, a bunch of ranchers got together along with county agent. They didn't have a veterinary clinic here, so they got a hold of a practitioner in Kansas, and he started this clinic as a mobile practice in 1967. And so it's grown into a 5-doctor mixed animal practice, still primarily cow, calf, and stuff. I've been here for 20 years, so we have about 18 employees, including the veterinarians that are on staff. We cover 8 counties surrounding Kintire County, which is where we're based. We have regular clients in all 8 counties around us. The favorite part of my day is, every day we get new challenges, and depending on the type of year that we have, but probably helping somebody either, prevent a situation from happening, working through a herd health program, or if an issue arises, helping them work through that issue and come to a resolution. That's really what motivates me to be a practitioner and to come to work every day.
Paul Bitts is the co-owner of J&P Livestock, which is North Dakota's first top-of-the-line beef confinement barn feedlot. He is also co-owner and auctioneer at the Napoleon Livestock Auction Barn in Napoleon, North Dakota.
My dad bought the sale barn in 1979, and I was 7 years old and absolutely loved it. Being a sale barn owner was, and just being around cattle is something that I've always loved. I don't ever remember a different dream. Other kids dream of doing something and go back and forth on different life goals and stuff like that. Owning a sale barn, being around a sale barn was the only thing that I ever really remember wanting to do. Once I realized I couldn't be a superhero. We built this in 2009. We've completely demolished the old sale barn except for the ring and the auction block, and rebuilt it in 2009, modernized it, tried to make it as comfortable as we could for buyers and sellers. Obviously, we produce a product that the United States and the world needs. It's neat to be part of that. When people celebrate something, it's with beef usually, and that's a pretty cool thing. And to be part of the baton, to hand the rancher through us to a feed yard and then on is pretty cool. Napoleon is a community of 700-800 people, very agriculture based, and as we've been in the sale barn, our area has gotten further and further, so our community really reaches out 250 miles out now, as far as people that help produce beef that we get to sell.
One of those buyers is Randy Weigel of Kintire, North Dakota. Randy and his family specialize in backgrounding cattle, and he's been in the game for quite some time.
I grew up in cattle, and my dad did the same thing. He backgrounded cattle and ran cattle on grass, so it's just kind of what we've been doing our whole life. My son Stephen and I are licensed and bonded cattle buyers, and we also run a backgrounding feed yard here and run cattle on grass, which all end up down in the feedlots in Nebraska and Kansas. The beef industry is my whole life. I mean, family is, of course, number one, but this is how we make our living. To our family, the beef industry is everything. It's just what I've always done and what I truly love to do.
Just like everywhere in agriculture, the cattle industry in North Dakota has distinct environmental challenges that affect the bottom line.
Being in the upper Great Plains, the wind is a big deal, and some years March and April are very nice and dry and open for calving. Other years you're slopping through the mud and the snow and fighting frozen ears and things.
It doesn't matter if it's summertime or wintertime. You know, the last 2 or 3 summers have been really unique. We were really dry, then we're really wet, and now this year some parts of us are dry and some are wet.
And if you're not prepared for those changes, you can end up with sick animals if the changes are good or if the changes are bad.
And if you get a set of cattle that are vaccinated right, you know, it really eliminates the stress of the changing weather patterns that we do have.
Of course, weather and herd health aren't the only challenges facing ranchers, but while you can't control the weather, you can control herd health. And herd health goes a long way towards improving the upside of your operation.
We buy cattle every day of the week, whether it's at a sale barn or Superior. We get up and we feed cattle. We don't have time to treat cattle all day long. We got to be at a sale. We have to have healthy cattle, or else we would have to employ more people just to keep our operation going.
We're in some rough country to where when our cattle are on summer pasture, our operation is very difficult to treat animals that are sick. We do not have access to working facilities if we do have issues. And a sick animal doesn't gain. If you don't have gains, you don't have weight. If you don't have weight, you don't have payday.
After the break,
It's much easier and long-term cheaper to spend money on prevention than have to chase after a wreck.
see how calf preconditioning programs work throughout the entire live beef supply chain. You're watching The American Rancher. Welcome back to The American Rancher. With all the challenges to profitability facing beef producers, a well-planned vaccination program is an excellent tool for boosting your bottom line. In North Dakota, a producer, veterinarian, cattle buyer, auctioneer, and feedlot manager are demonstrating the high value of cattle preconditioning.
For a long time, we're in an industry that moved pretty slow, and now shop programs have really come online and have become increasingly important in today's world where it's tough to get somebody that can pick out a sick calf. Shop programs and mineral programs change that. You know, as labor becomes more of an issue, I see shop programs and mineral programs being a bigger factor in discrepancy between what somebody's calves brought and somebody else's calves brought.
It's just a good herd health program is so important to have. It's much easier and long-term cheaper to spend money on prevention than have to chase after a wreck.
Somebody calls me and says, I want to buy a set of cattle that are on a solid shot program. I know where I'm going to go. I know which program I'm going to use because Select Vac gives me a lot of value. I know exactly what the program's about and I know the benefits of it.
Proven on millions of calves since 1995, Select Vac by Zoetis is the beef industry's #1 branded preconditioning program. Select Vac combines cattle vaccination and management services to prepare calves for weaning and shipping. Preconditioning increases the economic value of cattle moving through the live beef cattle supply chain and enhances your reputation for producing high-quality calves. Every Select Vac enrollment is validated by a third party prior to approval. Select Vac barn cards are then assigned to those cattle, giving buyers confidence in the cattle they purchase.
It's helped us be more efficient through the sale barn as far as not having to read off the shop program every time we sell a set of cattle. To be able to just hold up Select Vac's card and say, you know, this is what it is and read it once and everybody knows. And then it also has gathered in more buyers for us. And then with the more buyers, it's helped add on to the price of the calves. And then, when people get cattle that get along really well with a set of calves, they're very interested in coming back again. And sale day is a big day for everybody. It's a day where the guys that are selling want to get it over with. They want to go through the process. They want to be here, but they want us to do it in as fast a possible way as we can. Cattle buyers are also in a hurry. Cattle buyers are texting or calling somebody else, about the cattle they bought yesterday or cattle they're going to buy in the future or cattle that they're selling. As an auctioneer, I don't have the audience's full attention. I've read the back of pop boxes. People hand that over. People have sent me pictures of the actual text picture of the medicine that they've got. The one thing about the Select Vac card is I don't have to have a cattle buyer's full attention and they know what it is.
If you're busy at a sale and you have a phone in your ear and you didn't pay attention when the cattle walked in to the vaccination program, as long as the auctioneer holds up the Select Vac card, all the questions are answered. You don't have to stop the auctioneer and ask them, what kind of shots they've had. I will pay more for a Select Vac because I know what I'm getting. It comes down to, having the history with Select Vac that I have. My dad was using a lot of the products and I just continued on using them and I've just had great success with them. Select Vac is way ahead of any other vaccination program. It's an ease of mind on my end knowing what they have, and there's no explanation. I just send the card right along with the truck. When the cattle get to the other end, they look at the card, they read it off, there's no questions.
First of all, it's consistency. The buyers realize that this is a consistent product. They know how those calves are vaccinated every year. The producers like having a consistent product every year, a consistent vaccination protocol. You hold up the wean vac card when they sell their calves. The buyers know what that means, what those cattle have had, what they're protected against.
Select Vac by Zoetis offers the flexibility of 4 health designations to keep your calves healthy. Select Vac programs include Pre-Vac, Pre-Vac Plus, Wean Vac, and Stalker Vac.
We have time set aside or appointments set aside. We just work on herd health programs for clients. Any new challenges or issues they might face at the ranch, making sure that our herd health program is up to date. And we kind of have to adjust it every year based on the environment and the challenges that we face. Factors we always think about, first of all, we ask a lot of questions because we know our producers pretty well. Not 100%, but pretty well. And so we always, what things have changed with them? Are they going to market their calves different? Are they making new additions to the herd? Are they expanding the herd? Are they buying bulls from a different place? All those things play a role in how we develop a herd health program because it might change the pressures that put on the health of the cattle. And so we want to make sure those animals are properly vaccinated and the whole herd health program is taken care of. We're not just talking about vaccinations. We're talking about feed sources. What's the summer like? What's the winter like? Can they use silage? Is there no silage available due to the weather? So all those things come together for the herd health program.
We started on Select Vac as long as we've been raising cattle, which is 30 years. Without the Select Vac vaccination program, number one, I think we would experience more sickness and death loss at weaning and during our backgrounding phase. Second of all, I don't think we could provide the quality of cattle that we are today.
Up next.
I will definitely treat them cattle different than if I buy a set of cattle that do not have this Select Vac program.
Select Vac has worked for millions of calves, and it will work for yours. Those details are after the break here on The American Rancher. Welcome back to The American Rancher. More and more, the beef cattle industry in North America is recognizing the value of Select Vac preconditioning for calves. As the leading preconditioning program in the country, Select Vac is the trusted choice for producers, veterinarians, buyers, auctioneers, and feedlot managers.
Select Vac works well for our customers here because they realize they're getting a consistent product and program, and they realize that it brings added value to their calves when they market those calves in the fall to their buyers. Everybody would like a premium for it. Those non-Select Vac animals probably receive a discount compared to other other vaccination protocols because of the consistency, but we help them understand the importance of giving those vaccinations, the time when it's given, and the importance of a timely booster. So back to consistent product, consistent vaccination program delivered to those calves. It really helps the producers understand that.
In the Dakotas and in North Dakota, we've got very good quality calves. Select Vac program, Select Vac card allows those cattle to bring the most money, have the most people interested in them. This is putting on the last coat of paint. Everybody will buy calves when you hold up a Select Vac card. Everybody would bid on those calves. When you get calves that don't have shots or a poor shot program, you just start losing people that can bid on them or will bid on them.
So if I have a Select Vac program of calves that I buy, I will definitely treat them cattle different than if I buy a set of cattle that do not have the Select Vac program. If they're not, we go through our first series of shots and then we'll come back and boost them. So, but if I have the cattle that are on the Select Vac program, I will just administer their booster shot to them.
Well, it makes it a whole lot easier for knowing what the animals have had and what their immune systems have been exposed to, and that they've had all the shots that they need. The Select Vac calves, we don't have to mass treat them with Draxxin on arrival like we do with calves of unknown vaccination history. That saves us some money, and it reduces the amount of times we have to handle the cattle. The cattle always go on feed faster, and you know them calves are going to be healthier.
Select Vac has helped us grow our practice because our clients understand the importance of a herd health program and the vaccination protocols that require to be enrolled in Select Vac. The other thing that Select Vac has done for us, it's really made the vaccination protocols and getting those ready for producers a lot easier. So really it's less time consuming for us than having no program at all. So we would definitely support the Select Vac program, and we would always want it to be in place. Producers are understanding that the value of vaccinations given to their calves, and they understand what they're getting at the market when they hold up that third-party verification, that Select Vac card, and buyers recognize that card and know what it means. It's really important they understand the value and the added premium they're getting for their calves at market. Steel Veterinary Clinics have been involved since the inception of Select Vac, and I think one of the things that appealed to us to be involved with that when it first began was the third-party verification. You know, everybody can get a receipt or something like that from the farm store or the vet clinic, but that third-party verification and know whether it's a pre-vac or a wean vac or a stocker vac calf is really important. And so we really embrace that, and we continually train our staff when they come on board. They have to be trained how to make sure clients get enrolled in the Select Vac program and answer the right questions when they're at the front desk.
Select Vac is crucial to our customer to ensure that they get the most money for their cattle. And it's easy to follow. It's easy to understand why they need it.
Hands down, spending the little bit of money, if you prevent 1 or 2 death losses a year, it's more than paid for on our end. Number 2, and most important, is we provide a quality product for the next person down the chain of beef supply. If we can provide a good product to go into the feedlot, it's much easier for them to provide a good product to go on the consumer's table.
While Select Vac is improving the quality of calves across the country, Zoetis, the company behind Select Vac, prides itself in high standards of customer service. Zoetis is also helping to create quality of life for its customers.
I see Zoetis supporting like our FFA chapter. If there's ever been a producer in our area that's had any kind of an issue, the Zoetis brings in the veterinarian, the nutritionist. You know, they're probably one of the only ones in their business that do that. They get to the bottom and they find out what the problem is. So I feel that Zoetis goes way up and beyond the call of duty whenever there is an issue. I know I had a customer once that was having issues with cattle, and our local Zoetis representative went out there and brought in the veterinarian, brought in the nutritionist, and they got to the bottom of the problem.
When there are problems, they're not running and hiding. They've come in and what we thought was wrong with the cattle wasn't what was wrong with the cattle, but they still helped us figure it out. Zoetis has done a lot for the industry and helped us save money and to produce a better product.
For producers like Doug Hilly, the ranching life is the only life they know. The uncertainties of the industry will always put pressure on beef production. But Select Vac by Zoetis gives producers control and peace of mind. High-quality calves remain healthy throughout the entire live beef supply chain, while improving everyone's bottom line at the same time.
Quite honestly, some days you question your sanity, but what really keeps me going is it's ever-changing, it's ever-evolving, from the financial aspect, from the genetics aspect, from the production aspect. All of them create unique and different challenges. All days are good days. Some are just better than others. But in general, being able to get out and take a tour through the pasture and check the cows, whether they really need to be checked or not, just having the ability to go out and commune with Mother Nature and enjoy seeing things as God intended.
That's all the time we have today. We hope you enjoyed the show. To learn more about the Select Vac Preconditioning Program by Zoetis, log on to selectvac.com or talk with your local Zoetis representative. To find out more about us, visit our website, theamericanrancher.com, or connect with us on Facebook. I'm Pam Minnick. For our entire American Rancher team, thanks for joining us. We'll see you next time.